In Tulsi Ramayana, Ramcharitmanas, he says, Raghukula Reet Sada Chali Aayi, Prana Jai Par Vachana Na Jai. This is the tradition of the kings of Raghukula, where Sri Rama belonged. That even if their life goes, their word or their promise will not go. Promise will be fulfilled once given. That is the tradition, that is the way of the Lord. On this very special day, as we celebrate the not birth but the advent of a great son of the soil and a great devotee of the Lord, Sri Madiyal Narayan Bhatt, who was a Karana Janma. They are born for a reason. The Lord sends them down with a purpose, with a goal, with a mission. And Narayan Bhatt was one such Karana Janma. So when he offered 3 prayers to the Lord, earlier he did not know Satya Sai Baba, and he had 3 prayers. And why I am saying this is this, because today when I was just coming and Devaki Akka, as we call her, Anna's sister, was there at the gate of the Premamrutam, and she told, all Anna's wishes have been fulfilled, all his dreams have been fulfilled, she said, with great satisfaction, and telling me thank you for that. But why I say so is because he prayed, and he had many prayers, mainly how to uplift the poor and the downtrodden, and how to bring up our country, which was in very bad shape just around the independence, especially in the rural areas. He wanted to take this India to the world stage. He wanted to bring it up, and in the path of service to the society, and also self-realization for those who are involved in that service. That's why Atmano Mokshartam Jagat Hitaya Cha, which is the mission statement he borrowed from Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's mission. And that is how he was inspired by the order of monks of Ramakrishna mission, and also by the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi about nation building. So coming back to what happened, is he had 3 major wishes and dreams. It's recorded in most of his books. One, that he wanted to change the country by education, through education to the poor and the needy. In those days, he wanted to establish 10 schools in Karnataka. Now it sounds like a small number, but then it was a big thing. Alike itself took a lot of struggle. Mudanali was almost impossible. The push came from Baba, that is why he even ventured out to build Mudanali. And for a long, long time, these institutions just remained almost the same as what they were at the time they were founded. For 40, 50 years, they remained the same schools and buildings until recently when all these things started growing all of a sudden, and you know the reason. So he prayed that there should be schools in every district of Karnataka, and then it was 10, he prayed for 10 schools. But in his lifetime, he could establish one and start only another in Mudanhalli. Then he prayed that all these schools, all the institutions should be directly under the guidance of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. It should not be governed or guided or looked after by anybody else. He directly wanted Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba alone to be sole in charge of all these institutions. He did not want anybody else. That's written in a long letter before he offered it in 1976. And third, he wanted to ultimately lead all this to make it a big missionary organization. And he had a vision that a university should be established in rural surroundings where hundreds of young men and women inspired in the ideals of service to the nation, service to humanity, selfless love, and inspired by these great Indian culture and spirituality should come forth to dedicate their all for the service to the rural and the poor, and that's how they build the nation. And he had the vision that he would establish a university in some rural surroundings. And he has described this very vividly in his writings. But in his lifetime, all 3 did not happen. Most important prayers in his lifetime did not happen. Though he offered the institutions in 1976, but it was taken over only in 1978. Though after he passed away. Though he wanted to build 10 schools, he could not build, he just built 2. And All the others happened much later after his demise. And though he wanted a university to be established which will take care of all the institutions and also inspire young men and women whom he called as Tyagajivis, it did not happen in his lifetime, but it is happening now. So when Devaki said that you have fulfilled all his dreams, I was very happy because it's not one man's effort, that's for sure. Everybody together has fulfilled the dreams. But the dreams were not just dreams, they were a promise made by God Himself to him that I shall do it for you. That is what He told the mother of Narayan Bhatt, Gauramma. Don't worry about these institutions, I will look after them. And not 60, she was worried there are no people, how will these institutions prosper, who will lead them, who will guide them? And Baba then said, not 60, not 600, but 60,000 Tyagajivis will come and they will look after the whole thing. And that promise was made by God. That's why I always say, be careful. Don't go and promise anything to God. You don't know whether He will fulfill. But if you can extract a promise from God, do it. Because He will definitely fulfill the promise. That's where Rahugula Riti. Our Riti, Niti is questionable. Today we say, tomorrow onwards I'll be a good boy. I will never lie. I will go on time. I will follow your rules. 3 days later, that soda bubble inspiration disappears. We're back to our old self. I'll wake up at 4 o'clock. I'll meditate. A week later, 4 becomes 4:30, 5, 5:30, 6. Meditation never happens. We promise too many things to the Lord, but we don't fulfill all of them. We are like that. Our minds are like that. But when He do take a promise from God, look at how He fulfills it in another time, in another place, through another set of people, but He fulfills it. Chitrambulu, Vichitrambulu, Trailokya Pavitrambulu. These are wonderful leelas of God. In the Kali Yuga avatar, I think one of the most beautiful leelas are happening now. One man started with a vision, but did not have the capacity to fulfill it. Prayed, extracted the promise from God and left his mortal coil. And look at a God who himself left his body. Yet he managed to fulfill the promises to ensure that all that which was dreamt of, asked for, and promised were all fulfilled. And today it's such a happy and fulfilling day because we are celebrating the fulfillment of all his dreams. And of course, 60,000 Tyagajivis are yet to come, but we have started off. We have started walking on that path. A university which was just started 3 years ago, today it has 250, 300 students who are studying or they're interning and in various departments. And they're all Tyagajivis in making or already made. And Tyagajivi does not mean somebody who, as I said, abandons everything, home, earth, relations, family. Tyagajivi is the one who lives his life or her life with a purpose, with a sense of sacrifice. Tyaktena bunjitaha. Giving more than receiving is Tyaga for me. I call there are Rogajivis. They take and don't give anything in return. They become sick of this worldliness. Then there are Bhogajivis, who take as much they give, or less, they give less than what they take. That's all it is. Then Tyagajivis are there, who take less and give more. And then Yogajivis are there, who only give and never take anything in return. So when I went to the university a year ago and there was this talk, and we were discussing about Tyagajivis, 660,000. I said, yes, Narayan, but as in his human understanding of how the world can be changed, he prayed for Tyagajivis. But I am not satisfied with Tyagajivis. I want Yogajivis. Tyagajivi is a step to become a Yogajivi. Tyage naike amrutattva manushuhu. From Tyaga only you attain that immortality. So that is the stepping stone to becoming a Yogajivi. But Tyagajivi by itself is not sufficient in our mission now. Yes, we will be Tyagajivis, we will sacrifice for the others' sake, but that does not complete the cycle unless we also realize that self, unless we also elevate ourselves, the mokshartham. Atmano mokshartham is the yoga jivana. Jagat hitaya is Tyaga jivana. So from Jagat hitaya you must elevate yourself to Atmano mokshartham. From service and sacrifice you must realize yourself. That is the completion of this mission. So Why we have to celebrate these days? Just to remind ourselves of the great good fortune that has come our way. To be not just a part, just to witness this mission, but to be an active participant and to be the future of this work and mission. And it is a great fortune that has come our way. I'm sure everybody has prayed at some point in time to some God in some form, in some place. Please let me be of some service to you in whichever way you decide. And all of them have found an opportunity to be here. In the last 10 years, what has happened has not happened in the previous 50 years of existence of these organizations. Because previously it was one man who was pushing and prodding and working to fulfill the dream. But when the force of God joined that human effort, the grace of God suddenly joined this human effort. Look at the explosion of activities, explosion of this mission that has happened. So one man's effort is not enough, though it is the beginning. Take one step towards me. That is the beginning. But the actual grace, when it descends on such a person who has decided to lead a selfless life for others' sake, can achieve anything in this world. So when we were talking, he said, see, when Satya Sai Baba ji descended on earth, most of his disciples and devotees and followers, they took it for granted that, oh, he's a divine incarnation, he's a descent. He has come with all the powers. He's a Yuga Purusha, you call him with so many names. He's a Purnavatara. And so he has all the powers at his disposal. Therefore, he can do whatever he is doing. We are just ordinary people, don't expect all this from us. Most of the people take refuge in this excuse. We are not born, we are not Narayana Avatar or Shiva Avatar or some Avatar. We are all ordinary people, don't expect this from us. But in recent times, it has been proven that even as people with selfless motives, you can achieve great heights. Because God will join you. You don't have to go looking for God. Where is God? Where is God? God will come looking for you. Where is that fellow who was supposed to do a lot of service for me? He will come searching. That is the beauty of being a selfless person. Because God loves selflessness. That's how He created the whole world. Everything is selfless in this world except a human mind. So when you raise yourself to these heights of selflessness, purity and devotion and dedication, commitment, you don't have to go anywhere. You become the Arjuna, Krishna will come looking for you. And he will join forces. And he will bring everything that you need to fulfill that vision in his own way. So never undermine your potential. Never undermine your capacities. Never undermine what you can achieve as an individual also. Because once you are pure, once you are selfless, and your heart beats only for the sake of others, that Lord will come and occupy your heart, your being, your thoughts, words, actions, everything will be taken over by that divine. He will guide you at every step and achieve great things through ordinary people. This is the mission, this is the understanding. Even what Madhya Narayan Bhatt did not know Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba when he started off on this. But yet his heart was always beating for the sake of the country, for the sake of the poor. And that is what attracted Bhagavan Baba to him. So much so that there are thousands of people who used to come to Puttaparthi, but why Baba would go and take over Lokaseva Vrinda only? So many institutions across the country are there, they are still running in his name. He has not gone and signed a draft and whatever, a deed and taken over those institutions. It's because Narayan but selflessness. It attracted divinity to itself. And once he attracted the divinity, he extracted the promise from the divinity that whatever happens, please take care of these, don't abandon these. I'm offering it all to you. I don't know how long I would live. He had the premonition that he's going to give up his body very soon. He had written about it to various people, including our Narsimurti ji. So Bhagavan gave him promise. And Raghukula Riti. He gave a promise and said, I will fulfill it. And how wonderful. Neither Narayana Bhatt is in the body, nor Baba is in the body, yet the mission goes on. Look at the Leela. Look at the Leela of the divine. So it's an inspiration for every child. I want to draw your attention to this point, that if you make yourself selfless, if you make yourself pure and dedicated, surrendered, divine will looking for you, come looking for you. He will search you out from the crowds, pull you out of your place and pick you up and make you what he wants to make you and achieve everything through you. So many schools have been established, universities in place is doing great work, and there is no other university in the world at this point in time which is working on these principles. I've studied various organizations which were started by great visionaries. Baba Amte is there, Vinoda Bhave is there, Mahatma Gandhi is there, Rabindranath Tagore is there. So also Ramakrishna Mission, Chinmaya Mission is there. So many great missions. Also various Pitams are there, Mathas are there. But nobody is thinking in this way, the way it is being thought over here. Nobody is working in this holistic way. Narayan Bhatt had the vision when he drafted the deed for his institutions. He had multiple visions. It was not just education. He talked about healthcare to the poor. He talked about poverty alleviation. He talked about association with various people to bring up this organization, to establish a methodology to do it. He had talked about various things. He was a visionary. And he had studied various organizations and then concluded that a new organization of a different kind is needed. And he was very inspired because he studied in St. Aloysius. He was inspired by the Christian mission, how they were dedicated to the cause of service in the name of their master, Jesus Christ. He was very inspired by them too. But after studying all these things, he came up with a new model. He said that this is how it should be. Work for poverty alleviation, rural India, education, healthcare, and whatever people lack, granting them first is the first part of the mission. Then you teach them greater values and sacrifice and things like that. And spirituality is the underlying current of everything, without any distinction, differentiation whatsoever. It's such a vision. But today we see it being fulfilled in so many ways. Names may be different. It does not matter. You call Neelu, you call Neeru, you call Tanni, you call Pani, you call Jala, you call water, aqua, doesn't matter. You drink and you know it is the same. Work is the same. Names are different, forms are different, places are different. But this is one story of inspiration in the recent times where one man's selflessness, commitment, dedication, vision was fulfilled by divine. And that is the beauty of this whole mission, which we all are a part of. We should consider ourselves truly blessed and strive every single day to become a little more selfless, more dedicated, more surrendered, and become what the divine wants us to become, so that he can come and occupy us. He can fill us completely with his being and make us worthy instruments. Instrument does not have a mind of its own. It's simply surrendered, lying in the hands of the doer. Such instruments are the need of the hour. If this country has to improve and change, if India has to become the Vishwa Guru that it always was, if every child in India has to get into school, eat its food, have its health and all the facilities, each one of us have to work more than what we are doing. Mahatma Gandhi says, what people do and what they are capable of doing, the difference between the two is sufficient to solve most of the world's problems. We are capable of much more. Some are under training, they will eventually become leaders. Today's followers are tomorrow's leaders. So those are being prepared. It's a great mission, and I'm very glad to see the smile of satisfaction in Devaki's face, because she is getting older, and in front of her eyes, she had given up all hopes that something like this would happen. But in 10 years, she is satisfied because she is one sister who stayed with Narayan Bhatt. Others were married and settled, but she stayed because inspired by Narayan Bhatt only. She was the secretary and used to get the maximum scoldings from him for every mistake. But she stayed with Madhyal Narayan Bhatt as a shadow and worked side by side. And today, the smile of satisfaction in her face made me feel so fulfilled. She said, all his dreams have been fulfilled. And true, it has been fulfilled, and it will, whatever is left of it also will be fulfilled in times to come through each one of us. May we continue to strive towards becoming such noble, capable, available, and surrendered instruments of the divine. And whichever name he comes in Rama, Krishna, Shirdi, Patti, whatever name forms he takes, let him come to such an instrument and pick it up and use it for the cause of Lokakshema, Lokasangraha, and also grant Atmano Moksha to that individual instrument. With this prayer, much more has to be done. Woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. So this is what it is, long way to go, but we are already on the way. That is the good news, and we have achieved a couple of milestones, much more than our capacities, and I'm sure in times to come much more will be achieved. That is the satisfaction that I share with Devaki Akka. So also I share with all the senior Tyagajivis who are here, who have seen this all grow in the beginning. We should all be very, very thankful to the Almighty, to Divine, to have given us this opportunity, not just be a witness, but to be a part of this mission. May we all find fulfillment through continuous, committed, dedicated, selfless service to all, and in the process, service to the Divine.